Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And over my left-hand shoulder is something I wanted to cross off of my bucket list for a really long time. It's the Musee Mécanique. My son and I, Matt, was supposed to come here. Matt's not here, but paying a tribute to him coming here. And it's a coin-operated, old-fashioned arcade, and I'm going to show it to you. It's right on Pier 45, which is next to Pier 39 here in San Francisco. So I hope you enjoy it. Musee Mécanique, a one-of-a-kind. So as I say, Pier 45 at the end of Taylor Street, and this is your outside. You can just look for those red and white harbor cruise ships there. And this has been here, hey, a long time. Let's go take a look at Musee Mécanique. So this is an old-fashioned arcade with all the old penny arcade type of stuff, old machines. Look at this, an old bumper car. Hi. Oh my God, Matt would have gone crazy here. We used to go to these kind of places all the time. Not exactly like this with, they've got some newer games from the 80s when I grew up, but they've also got some of the older things you used to see. If anybody remembers the New York Experience in New York City, they had a lot of these things. Now, I used to have a Gottlieb Dimension when I lived in Brooklyn, and similar era to this. The Gottliebs are great machines. This is the bull, where you grab the bull's horns. That was a staple. Me and Matt would go bananas on that thing, boy. Look at this. This old-fashioned carnival thing. These are the kind of things you'd see in the New York Experience as well. But these are all these old games. And these are from like the 20s and the 30s, most of these things. Wow. Some of this stuff is actually a little creepy too. You got the famous Gypsy. So a lot of this stuff I've never even seen before. The mechanical horse. Look at this guy. Wow. Barbershop Quartet. How well these are done. Boy, the work that went into this stuff. This one I played before. They had this one at the New York Experience. The idea is you crank these around, and the faster you go, the bikes will go around the circle there. I looked at the preview of this place before I came, and they had a game here which I haven't played for like millions oh wow, I'd say 30, 40 years. It's called Death Race 2000. I haven't seen that for years. Ah, and there it is. One of the craziest, wackiest games ever. Talk about the idea of this game. This is a takeoff of the movie from, I think it was 1976 with David Carradine, where you actually have to hit the people, and every time you hit the person, a crucifix shows up, and you get points for actually backing up and hitting the people. It's kind of a wild game, but we used to always play it back in Brooklyn. And here you have more of your traditional, a lot of these are old too, 70s, 80s, a lot of class of 81s as well. These are more your traditional games down here. Space Invaders, Tekken. But the real joy is the games in the front there, because that's something you just never see. I mean, and even these are getting more rare as you go on. Spy Hunter. I know a lot of you guys looking at this. This is definitely a cool place to play. Pretty large place too. It's kind of like it's got a funky design to it, but wow, this one, God, I spent a lot of time playing this. They had this one in a place called Buzzarama on Church Avenue. I used to play that a lot in Buzzarama, and also a place called More Fun on Bay Parkway. Used to have that. If you hit that oil slick, the car goes bananas crazy. Indiana Jones. Well, hard to believe that's a classic game now, right? Wow, holy cow, this one I used to play a lot too. This was the helicopter game, Whirlybird. 75 cents to play. You control this thing. It's kind of a little unwieldy, but fun game. A lot of gun games, a lot of rifle games. Chicago Coin was an old pinball game, made a lot of these kind of games too. They're out of business. The only one left these days is, I'll think of the name, it's the only one making pinball machines right now. Stern had to come to me, couldn't think of it. All right, so I'm gonna try to show you this Death Race 2000 game. I don't know if I'll be able to drive it and film it at the same time, but maybe I'll get someone to do it for me. It's a basic game, I gotta show this. So here I go, we got 99 seconds, they're going back and forth. I'm gonna hit the start. No one here to help me do it. Here I go. He's a feisty one. The force is strong for him. There we go. Goes in reverse as well. And it's kind of funny because if you do this, you're playing against the computer. You got to back up and go forward. What'll happen is you kind of can paint yourself into a corner. So you got to be careful if you want a high score, not to. Look at that. Well, it's enough of that. So I want to see what this one's about. Drunken Stream. I never seen this before. Let me put a coin in here. See what this thing does. Okay. What? Didn't seem like it did too much. This thing looks interesting. This Toothpick Fantasy. See what this is about. Put the quarter in. Ah, look at that. Pretty interesting. Alright. Look at that. She even got a Lucha Libre there with, looks like an Andre the Giant wrestling him. Arm wrestling. This thing has superhuman strength. Wow. Got the hammer. Where's Thor when you need him, huh? This guy's the mechanical mime. Let's see what this guy does. Anything? Maybe he does more than they say, but you just can't hear him. He's moving around a little bit. I mean, you got to realize this technology back then. Incredible stuff. All right, not too animated. And we are in San Francisco, so you got your obligatory Golden State Warriors game there. He's doing pretty good. And if you're not sure what you want to do in your life, you got the good old career pilot here. I don't see podcaster on here, but let me give this a whirl and see what it says. Let's see what he decides. I'm gonna be a movie star. Holy cow. Maybe that's a sign this video will go viral. That's something. All right, I'll take it. This game looks pretty neat. I'm gonna film this as these guys do it. Oh wow, oh, there you go. TKO, KO, the winner. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that trip to Musée Mécanique. It's a quick one. I have Terry waiting outside. She's not one for arcades, so made this a quick video, and hope you enjoyed it. So stay tuned, subscribe if you can. Really appreciate it. Right on the pier here in San Francisco. Definitely worth the trip if you're here in the neighborhood. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Take care.